If you practice all these questions shown on the screen, then I am 100% sure you will clear the interview. I know all the concepts of programming, but still I am unable to write the code. I know many of you faced similar problem, right? But remember, you are not the only one who facing this. During my final year, I covered all the concepts, coding and even HR questions. But due to lack of guidance, I failed in many interviews. You do not need to know everything to clear a fresher interview. You need to know the right things clearly. Watch till the end, I will give you a cheat code and proper guidance. But before moving into the video, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. As a new creator, it gives me more confidence and motivation to create such amazing videos. I know Python theory, Java, OOPS and SQL concepts. But when someone asks me to write code, I am unable to write code. I even know data types, loops, conditional statements, functions and logic. Still I am unable to write the code. My mind goes blank. If this is your situation, then don't worry. I was also in the same position during my final year. Look at the screen. These are the questions I prepared during my placement journey. I am sharing them because I know many students are struggling exactly like this. But let me say one important thing first. This is only for the students who have an interview in the next few weeks. If you are capable of writing code on own, then practice all patterns. If you even have 4 to 5 months, then you should focus on learning how to code. That is always the best option. Remember, this video is a survival plan, not a replacement from learning programming. Now let's talk about the biggest problem generally students face. Most students watch videos from YouTube and make notes. Actually, that is the best plan. Even I did the same during my college. They learn theory concepts from top to bottom. But when interviewer asks write a program for prime number, suddenly everything becomes blank. I have seen this happen with many students. The problem is they focus more on theory while making notes. They remember codes instead of practicing patterns. Here the issue comes. When you practice a program, ask yourself, what is the input, what can be the output, which loop can we use here, which condition is checked, and which variable actually stores the answer. You should at least practice 5 to 10 problems from each topic during preparation. You should try different solutions by adding your own logic. This is how you learn coding. Seeing code and practicing it for 10 times will help you to remember, but you never learn coding in this way. You have to see the code once and apply your own logic and try in your own way. This method will help you write code and improve problem solving skills. And honestly, sometimes interviewers are not always perfectly fair. I've seen many talented students who are still searching for jobs, and I also know students with very average knowledge who got placed. A big part depends on the interviewer. For few, they ask very easy questions. They don't even ask codes, they hire. For few, they ask very tough. If difficult questions come, even good students can struggle. So instead of pretending that interviewers are always perfect, let's prepare smartly for the last few days. Now I will share last 10 days cheat code plan. I am calling this as a cheat code plan. You will understand at the end why. Assume you tried learning to code on your own, but you failed even after n number of trials. Then you should definitely try this approach as your last option. Among 100 students who are weak in coding, this focused preparation can help a large percentage perform much better in interviews. Almost many students get placed in this way. I guarantee you, if you follow all these steps strictly, then 100% you can clear the interview. Whatever coding questions I am sharing in this video, those are for the interview, not for the coding technical assessment. If you practice them properly, or at least try to remember the approach for all these questions, I am honestly very confident that for around 8 out of 10 students, this can be enough to clear the coding part of a fresher interview. But listen carefully, clearing the coding part alone is not enough to get selected. If you focus only on theory and coding, you are covering maybe 60% of the interview preparation. The remaining 40% is what actually makes many students get selected or rejected. To clear a fresher interview, you should work on these 5 areas together: communication, HR questions, projects, theory concepts, and coding. These 5 combinations gives you the best chance of clearing an interview. I am planning to make separate videos on the most frequently asked questions in the Python cluster, Java cluster and C hash cluster. I have given interview to Cognizant, Accenture, TCS, Wipro and even for Genpact. So I have an idea that how interviews actually work. I have many interview questions with me that I collected from my college mates after their interviews. Some I collected from YouTube and some from Telegram by asking to students during my placement journey, as you can see them on the screen. I genuinely don't want you to miss those videos because they can be very useful for your interviews. So please subscribe to the channel so you can watch them as soon as I upload them. Now let's talk step by step more clearly. Last step is more important. So listen carefully. You don't get this anywhere. I'm making this video with my personal experience. So watch till the end. I wish you all get some good guidance here. Step 1. Stop learning new topics. The biggest mistakes generally students make is they start DSA, recursion, trees, graphs and everything at the last moment. You should have learned this when you are in third year. If your interview is in a week, focus only on the frequently asked coding questions and revise all the concepts that you learned before. Now I will share 3 sets most asked interview coding questions one by one. The questions will be same for all the programming languages like for Python, Java, C hash, C++, etc. For Java, don't forget to learn OOPs. They are the most important for Java. Step 2. Master these questions. Now let's move on to the most important part. For the next few days, I want you to focus only on these questions shown on the screen. Practice these programs until you can write them without looking at the answer. These are the most repeatedly asked number programs in fresher interviews. For example, questions like even or odd, prime number, factorial and Fibonacci series. These are the questions asked again and again in many interviews. Just pause the video and take a screenshot. If you practice all these number programs properly, you will cover a major portion of the basic number pattern questions asked in many interviews. Next comes string programs. String and array questions are extremely important. In many interviews, at least one questions come from these topics. Here also, questions like a reverse string, palindrome, reverse words in a sentence, and count vowels. These are very common questions. Again, don't just memorize the code. Try to understand the logic behind each program. And if you practice all the string questions shown on the screen, that is more than enough for the string concept at fresher level. Now let's move on to the array programs. Please remember this point carefully. Arrays and strings are the two topics that are asked most frequently in the fresher interviews. Questions such as maximum element, minimum element, removing duplicates, and sum of array elements are very common. Practice all the questions shown on the screen for most entry-level interviews. These array questions are more than enough. If you practice all these, you cover entire coding questions for interview. Remaining you should focus on theory and HR questions. The questions I am sharing in this video are especially useful for the base roles such as TCS Ninja, Cognizant Gen C, Infosys System Engineer and similar fresher roles that generally offer around 3.5 to 5 LPA. If your target is higher packages like above 5 LPA, then these questions alone are not enough. In that case, you should seriously focus on DSA, problem solving and coding practice and interview preparation at a deeper level. So use this video as a strong foundation for entry level fresher jobs and gradually move towards DSA if you want bigger opportunities and higher packages. Next, let's talk about the interviews. Interviews are sometimes unpredictable. In one interview, you may expect difficult coding questions, but the interview may ask mostly project and theory questions. In another interview, they may ask fully on coding. That's why I say interviews are unpredictable. So prepare both theory and basic coding. Assume if you have 1 week time before the interview, don't solve new questions. If you are watching this with only a few days left for your interview, then don't panic. Focus only on these limited questions, practice writing them by hand, revise theory and improve your speaking confidence. You do not need to know everything to clear a fresher interview. You need to know the right things clearly. And my final suggestion is just be confident and speak politely. Speak whatever you know in the interview, but whatever mean like related to the question. And the main thing, sleep properly before the interview day because a fresh mind performs much better than a tired mind. Remember, this cheat code plan is only for emergency situations. If you have time, then start learning coding. All the best for your interviews. I will see you in the next video.